Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming along. My name is Jo Ross, for those of you who I don't know, and you've probably been invited here by Christy to come and check out what she's up to tonight. So I'm the founder of Travel Tribe. Travel Tribe came to be about 18 months ago. I was working in family daycare at the time, and my hubby is a plasterer by trade. So we were both running our own traditional businesses, which we loved, but we also love traveling. We love cruises, we love going overseas, and we've always dreamed of being able to travel around Australia in a caravan. So we didn't think that that was ever going to happen. It was just one of those things that we used to dream about. But what happened was I was on Facebook one day and I saw a post by a lady in one of the family daycare groups, and she was saying about selling up all of her family daycare resources because she'd found an online business that was out earning her income in family daycare. So she was going to go do that because it would give her ultimate time freedom to be able to travel the world with her little girls. So I sent her a message and I said, "Hey, what is it that you're doing?" And she sent me a video to watch. It's got information, it had information in it similar to what you guys are going to see here tonight. So when she sent through the video, it's all based around health and nutrition. Now that was, something that really resonated with me to start with because I'm actually a breast cancer survivor. So I was diagnosed 5 years ago, just after my 33rd birthday. And obviously it was a massive shock. The only way probably to describe my life at the time was toxic. I was in a toxic relationship. I had a toxic full-on career. My diet was toxic. My lifestyle was toxic. And yeah, as a result, I ended up with cancer. So during all of that, I had some amazing family and friends rally around me and suggest to me that, before I jumped down the route of mainstream medicine, I check out some natural alternatives. So I thought I've got nothing to lose. So I did. I actually did a juice diet for 5 weeks, and it was amazing. I could actually feel my tumour under my skin shrink to half its size. So that was absolutely fantastic. And then I had surgery to remove the rest. So ever since then, I have absolutely believed in the power of fruit and veggies and their ability to heal our bodies. So when I heard what this lady was doing, I was really, really, amazed, because I know that these days nobody is eating enough fruit and veg. I think the statistics are less than 5% of Australian adults are eating their 5 serves of veggies and 2 serves of fruit a day. And it's even less for kids. So, it's no wonder we've got so many different diseases and illnesses. So when I heard about these products, and this is them here, they're called Juice Plus, and these are simply fruit, vegetable. I'll just pop me on spotlight so you guys can see that a bit better. So what we've got is fruit, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. Now, I know that sounds a bit, out there, like how can there possibly be fruit, veg, and berries in a capsule? And that's what I was thinking. Like, I know the amazingness of what fruit and veg can do for us. So I started to check it out, and it was absolutely amazing. So the way that these work is the fruit, veg, and berry are grown they're all non-GMO, and all of the farms that these come off are 3rd generation farms with no herbicides, no pesticides used. Now that is amazing. That's better than organic that you can get here in Australia. So that was really important to me to start with. And the way that these capsules come about is they actually let the fruit vine ripen. Now, these days, when we go and buy fruit and veg in Woolies or Coles or Aldi, our tomatoes are picked green and then ripened under lights. Our avocados are gas ripened. But the fruit and veg in these is actually left on the trees or the vine till peak ripeness. Now, that's really important for getting all of that nutrition. It's then picked, and within 24 hours, it's shipped to the factory where it's washed, and then the whole fruit or veggie is crushed and pulped, and then that is very, very slowly freeze dried. So what that does is evaporate the water and the sugar, And what you're left with is the powder containing the live enzymes and nutrients. So the powder that's in here is then encapsulated in a vegan capsule, which is also water soluble. So if you don't like swallowing capsules, yeah, and basically what they've been able to prove is that the powder that's in here is bioavailable. So when you take these, your body recognizes it as food. So it's not like synthetic multivitamin, things like that, that you can buy in the chemist, because they're actually chemically made. So, you know, our body doesn't recognize it as food, which is quite often, if you've ever taken a multivitamin or something like that, your pee will turn bright yellow. It's because your body recognizes it as a chemical and tries to flush it out as quickly as possible. So not only does the bottle here have a food, it has a food label on it, so there's no chemicals. So what's in here is purely apple, pineapple, peach, prune, orange, cranberry, papaya, beetroot, cherry, and date. So what you're getting is actual food. Now, we're not saying that you can take these and not eat food. That's not what we're about. This is merely to bridge the gap between what we do eat and what we know we should eat. The World Health Organization is telling us we actually need between 9 and 13 serves of fruit and veg per day, organic fruit and veg per day, to counteract the pollutants that we have in our air, in our water, in our leather couches, in our cars. So it's practically impossible to do that. So that's where these come in. They're just designed to bridge that gap. So that's our capsules. And along with our capsules, what we have is a chewable version. Now, we understand that lots of people, especially children, can't swallow capsules. So what the company has done is they've taken that same powder, mixed it with fruit pectin and tapioca starch, and turned it into a little chew, mixed with a little bit of the fruit juice to make it delicious for the children. And these actually come for free. So with every adult order, the company will give these for free to a child aged between 4 and 18 years old, free for 4 years. Now, our company has been doing that for over 10 years. They have been conducting the world's largest children's health study. And what they do is they get the parents to fill in a survey every 4 months on how the kids are doing. What they've been able to prove is that children who get these extra 17 different fruits and veggies in their diet every day are on less medication. They are having less days off school sick. They go to the doctor less. They eat more fruits and veggies. They drink more water. They sleep better. Their digestion's better. And they're now doing studies on their behavior as well. So it's absolutely amazing. So these are our kids' products, and yeah, they're fantastic. You can also get them in an adult version if you prefer that to the capsules. Our latest product that we have is our omega blend, because as well as our fruit and veg, we also need those good healthy fats. We know that how important they are for mums who are growing babies. You know, bubs really need those good omegas to help grow nice and strong. Omegas are amazing for brain health, for eye repair. They're incredible for joints. You know, my hubby has been taking them for 6 months now, and he has a bad left knee. He was told he needed a knee replacement, but he was too young. So that basically he was just told to put up with the pain. He's been on these for 6 months. At about month 2, he went from not being able to walk around the block to these days he goes for a 7K walk one day and he can do a 30K push bike ride the next day. So this completely changed his life, and yeah, can't recommend those enough. And then our last product that we have is our complete powder. So again, all of our products are vegan. So a lot of shakes and things like that you can buy in the chemist are made from milk products and whey protein and all sorts of things. These are completely made from veggies and grains. So what we've got in here is pea protein, rice protein, chickpea powder. We've got alfalfa sprouts, broccoli, aramath, quinoa, pumpkin, pomegranate, spirulina, yucca, mushroom, all those amazing veggies that we know we should eat. I'm not a fan of broccoli, never have been, never will be. But I know I get it every single day when I have one of these. There's less sugar in these than half a banana, but it tastes amazing. Chocolate or vanilla. Now, you can have these on their own as a fantastic, I have it as a shake, or you can turn it into a smoothie. My hubby's favourite is a handful of frozen mango and banana, and mix it up with one of those, and it keeps you going all day long. I'm a breakfast skipper, so for me, having a chocolate shake every morning is absolutely fantastic. I get all of that energy that I need, keeps me going. The other thing that these have in them is niacin. Now, niacin is actually naturally found in vegetables, but it's also what they use now in a lot of antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication. So we've actually got loads of testimonials from people who've been able to add these to their diets, and over time have either been able to reduce or actually even get off some of their medication. So it is absolutely amazing what fruit and veggies can do when we pop them into our bodies. So we don't ever know what Juice Plus is going to do for a person, because everybody's body has been through different things. Everybody's got a different history. But when you're giving it that nutrition it needs, it can start to heal itself from the inside out. So rather than, keep talking about listening to all of the facts and figures, we'd like to hear some actual stories. So tonight I'm going to scoot over to Katrina. Katrina, where are you? There you are. I'm just going to spotlight you. Hi.
Hi.
Can you share with us your Juice Plus journey so far?
Sure. I'm a little bit of a Juice Plus oldie, so I've been on the products for 2 years now and absolutely loving them. I kind of fell into them. So I was so skeptical. I was one of those people that had seen it pop up a few times and thought that it was a total scam. And I actually ignored my friend who was trying to encourage me to take them for about 18 months. And it really wasn't until I got to the total bottom of the barrel where, it's really cool what Joe just shared about the niacin in the shakes there, because that's what I needed them for. I was severely depressed. I was so anxious. I was suffering a lot mentally, and it wasn't until I ran into this particular girlfriend out at the shops, and anybody who's ever had anxiety knows that it always tends to show up when you're grocery shopping. And she managed to bump into me, and we got into a really honest chat, and she told me that she was taking these products for her own mental health. And being a real hippie, I noticed that obviously it's much more beneficial for my body to have less chemicals in it. So I really wanted to give these a shot before I went on to anything quite strong. And thought I had nothing else to lose. And pretty much within the first 3 to 4 days of being on them, I really noticed my energy shift. And for anybody that's ever suffered with depression, you'll know that that's kind of one of the biggest battles, is that you just don't want to do anything, and you physically don't have that energy to do anything. Like, you don't really want to get out of bed. You just kind of want to mope around all day. And because it's safe, like it's comforting. But to be able to have those in my body, and I actually started to want to get out of bed and feel refreshed and to have a decent sleep, it really started to change my perspective and started to get me quite hopeful. And then within probably, I think maybe the first 1 to 2 weeks, I added in the shakes as well. So then I was on the premium, and I got the extra added bit of the niacin in the whole food powder. And literally I've just been hooked ever since. Wherever I travel, they have to come. I can't go a few days without them because I really do start to notice. And then, other really cool stuff has happened to show me that it does work from the inside out. Like, my skin is crazy. I've always been quite hormonal with skin issues. So the fact that I don't have zits, like, this is me makeup free, and it seriously looks like I'm, glowing. And it's really cool because as a girl who doesn't like to have skin that you can just kind of rock, you don't have to feel worried about all the time. So that really helps. My hair grows really long, which is really annoying because I get like this baby hair that pops up all the time, but it's good because I know that something's happening right on the inside. And I also have 2 small children, so I got the kids' products free. Not gonna lie, that was probably one of the biggest things that actually got me into it, because as a mum, I tended to spend a lot of money on my kids, but not necessarily look after my own health. So to know that they were getting the products for free, I felt better about buying it for myself. And I noticed straight away a difference with them. Within the first couple of weeks, I noticed less tantrums. better sleeping, better eating. Like they actually started to want to eat their food, which was massive because we were one of those families that pretty much ate white potato and peas as veggies, and that was it. Now they eat really cool things, like even in their lunchbox I can cut up carrots and capsicum and cucumbers and things like that, and they'll actually eat them because their body's used to having that kind of nutrients inside. So the changes that I've noticed in the 2 years that I've been on them is just phenomenal, and I just wish everybody would know about them because they're so simple. You just add them in the mornings. It tops up whatever you're not getting during the day, and it encourages you to want to eat and behave better in your lifestyle. So it's definitely amazing. I can't fault it at all. I absolutely love it. And it's funny because then you get to see the beautiful things that happen in other people. Like Josie's one of my beautiful friends that I got on the product. I'll shoot on over to her now and she can share a little bit about her story, because it's nice to be able to make yourself feel better, but when you can make other people around you feel better, it's kind of even more empowering. So thank you, Jo.
Thank you. And yes, you are glowing.
Oh, thank you.
Josie, let me find you, lovely. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. So can you tell us your Juice Plus story?
Yeah, of course. So I've been taking Juice Plus for almost 3 months now. So I've been a part of the business for just over 1 month, and I'm absolutely loving it. So the products, I'll start off a little bit about myself first. When I was young, I entered independence very young. So that led to a lot of bad decisions financially. I found myself in a lot of debt at a young age, and that caused me to have high levels of stress, anxiety, and it also led to depression at a really young age. So at the age of 16 and 17, when all my friends were, carefree, going out on weekends and doing things because they had money, I sat at home because I just paid off my car loan and, everything else I had on finance. And at the end of the week, I had nothing to show for it. So, that led to quite an unhealthy lifestyle. I was also in a relationship at a young age with an older guy. And it was quite a toxic relationship. So that had a massive toll on me negatively as a person. So I lived quite an unhealthy lifestyle from a young age, or a young independent adult. But just recently in the last 12 months, I've moved towns. I've got a new job, a new partner, and my job is still stressful. I've got a lot of responsibilities, and I do a lot of overtime with no thank you. And it's quite exhausting, I think. It's stressful, and by the end of the week, you're like, I just put in, 10 extra hours for nothing. So one day I had off, I just took a day, annual leave, and I was lounging around and I saw Katrina's video, which is my upline. And she was explaining the product and the business side of things and what you can achieve from it. And I was hooked just by listening. So I thought, no, I need to know. So I asked her how I could go about it and what I could do to get onto it. And here I am. So taking the products health-wise, I used to suffer from migraines a lot, and I actually haven't had a headache since taking the products. So that was a big thing. As a female, each month I would suffer extremely bad from cramps, bloating, headaches again, skin. My skin condition was terrible. But since being on the products, I never wear no makeup, and I've got no makeup on tonight. So I'm loving it. And the business side of things as well, the support and the training and everything that comes along with it, it's amazing. So I'm hooked.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is amazing. I'm very excited for you. And yeah, you can tell you're just bubbly and loving it. You look amazing.
Thank you.
I can completely resonate with what you were saying about the headaches, because I used to be a migraine sufferer. So about every 2 to 3 weeks, I would get a migraine so bad that I would be throwing up. I went and had x-rays, I went and had everything done, and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. And I've been on Juice Plus for 18 months now, and I've had 2 migraines in 18 months. So I have no idea what the difference is, what's changed, but purely from that fact alone, let alone the energy and the brain fog that's gone and the nails and the hair that doesn't stop growing, like, let alone, and again, I'm a no makeup girl as well. So, it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm very happy for you, because anybody who can get rid of those headaches, it changes your life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much. All right, so now we've heard a little bit about what the products can do for us. So we're going to change gears a little bit now and talk a bit more about the business. So as you know, there is a business behind that, and that's what some of these girls have jumped into. So when it comes to, joining an online business, things like that, a lot of people are very skeptical. There's a lot of myths and a lot of stories and things that go on behind the scenes. So what we're going to do is bust some of those myths for you tonight. So Katrina, I'm going to shoot back over to you and let you tell us about how amazing this business really is.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Got my handy whiteboard here. Because I was so skeptical. I was like the skeptical queen. I was skeptical of the product. I was skeptical of the business. I think I was just really safe in what I was doing at that time, but I couldn't deny what the products had done for me. They really worked, and I knew that there were people around me who needed to feel better. So I looked into the business a little bit more, and I seen it displayed just like this at an event that I went to, and I couldn't deny the fact that the people were really real. There was no BS. It was shown to me really honestly, and it made a lot of sense. So I want to do something similar for you guys. So, everybody throws around the elusive pyramid scheme, idea, the fact that any kind of online work must be a pyramid scheme. And I just wanted to kind of show to you guys that, first of all, pyramid schemes were made illegal in the 1970s. So anything that's kind of getting thrown around now is misconception from way back then. And there are so many beautiful online opportunities now that the freedom comes with you to help other people and create an income at the same time. But what I found was, when this was explained to me, this made a lot more sense than anything traditional that I was already in. So, pyramids work because there's someone at the top, right? Normally there's a CEO at the top here making money. Now, when I first came into this business, I was working retail. So I was working, probably close to 40 to 50 hours a week to be able to save enough money to have my own dance studio. That was my goal. I was a professional dancer, and I wanted to be able to teach other people how to do that. That was my skill set. So I came into here, it was like a little retail position in Surfers Paradise for anybody who's been, so you can kind of understand the shit that I had to go through. But I swapped so many late nights, so much weekend work, so much overtime for this company in order to get a weekly wage. And it was crap, but I had an end goal. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out, I'll own my own business, and that will be my ticket to the freedom that I want, so that I can live the life with my kids and, hopefully have enough finances to be slightly abundant and, do what I want to do. But what I found in this was I was swapping an hour for a dollar figure. It was really hard. People were telling me what I was worth. I was capped. So, I was only allowed to work something like, 45 hours a week. And then if it was any more, I'd kind of have to take it up in lieu. Like, I couldn't really earn more than what I wanted to, even though I had goals. So that was hard. And what I found was, even though I worked here for like 7 years, there was only so much I could go, because this top part of the pyramid was family owned. So it was by, it was a husband, wife, and then they had 2 kids on the board. And I was never getting up in this grey area, regardless of my work ethic and how much time I put into this company. This was as far as I got. And after 7 years, like I said, it wasn't much of a big deal because I had other plans. But for somebody who wanted to make it far in this would have been my capped limit for the rest of my life, no matter how good I turned up to work every day, because these positions were always filled. And, even when you look at bigger companies like Coles and Woolies, a lot of the time you can work as far up and as high as you want. These positions are outsourced, so they come from other companies. You can't really progress that far in a lot of traditional companies. Also, as you are progressing, if you're fortunate enough to be able to get promotions, most of the time you're stepping over people to do so, which creates a really nasty environment most of the time. You know, there's a lot of gossiping, a lot of bitch stabbing, and things like that that just weren't really my cup of tea anyway. So I didn't find that this worked. But like I said, I had a bigger picture. So I thought I would become the CEO when I had enough money to start my dance studio, which cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. I got into here and I was in control of my own little pyramid. And for a long time, I enjoyed it because I was really passionate about dancing. But at the same time, the money wasn't there because everything that I was making, if you guys have ever started a traditional business, you know that it goes out in insurances, it goes out in rent, it goes out in wages, it goes out in bills. It doesn't really come straight into you. You know, if you're looking at a traditional business, most people say that in the first 10 years, you're not really going to make much profit because you're really just covering your basis. So what I found was that that wasn't working either. I wasn't still getting the financial freedom, but most of all, I wasn't getting the time freedom. Because even though I was no longer getting paid, you know, like an hourly figure, every time that this needed to work, I needed to be there. You know, when I did go on holidays, people would ring me up for silly things like, where's the invoice book? Or so-and-so didn't turn up to their shift. And it would constantly be about work. There was no freedom there. And in the times that I did go away, it kind of fell apart. I had to come back and rebuild everything. And it got quite difficult. But in this business, you know, it really made sense to me because I found that none of those worked. I wasn't going to be an employer and I wasn't going to be an employee because neither of them really worked that well for me. But this business, there's no point. There's no one who sits above you because what happens is that this is our top level, like our CEO. It's called NMD, National Marketing Director. And there's exponential positions up there. So it's not like you can only have one or two NMDs in Australia. We could literally have thousands. And, you know, we're growing every single day. At the moment, I think there's possibly about 50 of us, which is really cool. So in here, again, we all start down the bottom. So no one is ever going to get outsourced and come above you. So you don't have that kind of bitchiness in there because everybody's supportive, because everybody understands what it's like to start at the bottom and to try and work their way up to the top. Now in this, we have a couple of levels. And I really like that because it lets you stop here. So if you want to come in and just earn a couple of $100 a month, that's awesome. There's no one breathing down your neck saying, you know, you need to do this shift or you need to turn up or you're not doing this. You can just hang out there and that is your own prerogative. If you want to come up here and earn a couple of $1,000 a month, that's awesome as well. There's always someone above you who's helping and supporting that happen. But if you want to come up here and literally earn tens of thousands of dollars a month, you absolutely can do that as well. And there's nobody saying to you, no, sorry, those positions are already taken. If you work hard enough and you want it hard enough, it's absolutely yours for the taking, which I think is so fair because every single one of us deserve the chance to be able to live the life that we want. And we shouldn't have somebody kind of saying to us, no, sorry, you're not really good enough, or no, sorry, you're not worthy of that. If we can do it, we should be able to do it. So it made sense to me. I jumped in, and to be honest, it was still work. You know, I still worked, but it's such a simple concept. And within the 15, 16 months, I was able to reach that NMD position. So it's not one of those things that you really have to work at for years in order to be able to make work. However, if you did want to do it on the side of building something else, then it's cool if it takes years. There's no real time limit. The other thing I was concerned with, though, is that I didn't know enough people. Or I did have a big network because of the dance studio, but I didn't want to feel like I was utilizing just those people. You know, I didn't want to feel like I was going to get successful by just poaching my friends and family. I wanted to be able to have more of an impact and still keep my relationships intact. So when I came into this, I was very careful of that, and I've created a really successful team by still being aware of that. So you definitely don't need to know many people. But when I came in, just like Joe shared, we met on Facebook through a random post that I did. Now, Joe has actually gone on and she's created a team of literally hundreds. So I'm not going to write them all out, but by her sharing to a couple of people, she has been able to, who else have we got? We've got Christy on here tonight who's sharing. We'll put her down there. So, you know, Joe went out and she introduced her own people. And then I went out and I met Desi as well, actually from the same post. You guys are awesome. And Desi has gone out and introduced people as well. Then I found some other people along the way, and then they've found other people along the way. So what's really cool is that it gets to a stage where it has a mind of its own. So, you know, you find people that want to help other people that want to help other people. And it literally just starts to what we call popcorn out, and it gets beyond our control. And sometimes that looks too good to be true. I'm well aware of that. But, you know, I'm living proof that that actually happens, because within the 2 years that I've been doing this business, we now have a team of just about 400. So that's 400 people that I could never bring on board myself. But, you know, with the power of knowing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people who want to do this, who then go out and find 2, 3, 4, 5 people who want to do it, the compound interest just explodes. And then you have a really cool business of people who want to be passionate about your movement, which is awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing. I can't believe you've got 400 people in your team, it's amazing. And using the power of social media.
Oh, it's amazing. And yeah, to be honest, moving on from that, I probably only knew about 3 or 4 of them before this business. So if you kind of put that into odds, so many of them are through social media, and so many amazing new relationships that I never would have found. Or, you know, like Joe and Desi are 2 of my best friends now, and I never would have been able to meet them or know them if it wasn't for this kind of opportunity. So even just through that, I'm thankful.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? We're all like our own little juicy family now.
I know.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. So hopefully that just sort of explained a little bit about how we work. Like, obviously, this is just a brief introduction so that you guys can know that what Kristy's getting into is completely legit. She's got a great big network here to support her. And we're here to help her, be able to have some more of what she wants. But we'll hear from her in just a minute. So actually, no, we might shoot over to you now, Kristy. Let me just find you. Where are you, lovely? We've got a few people on here tonight. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I don't want to steal your thunder and tell your story on you. So can I introduce you and just ask, how did Juice Plus come into your life? How have you found it so far? And what are you hoping for the future?
Okay, so I found Juice Plus at a random trip to the hairdressers. Sitting in there, I was talking to Janine, as you do, and then this lady, Jo, happens to walk in, and she sits down, and we're talking, and it come up about where is she from, and she said, oh, I'm from Bundaberg, and I said, oh wow, why are you down here? And she said, oh, I'm traveling in my van around Australia, and she told me a bit about her story. And then she said, and Janine, the hairdresser, actually said, well, how are you doing that? Like, where are you getting your income from? And Jo said, well, I'm actually a online health coach. And she started talking about it. And then I started to tell Jo about my story. She asked me, a bit about myself, and I started telling her. So, so I had Hayley 2 years ago now, as most of you know. We've had a bit of a rough trot up and down with her health, and it's actually led me to lose my job recently. And I told Jo a little bit about this, and Jo was like, hey, I'll just add you on Facebook and I'll send you a message later. So I left the hairdressers and I went home to Nan and I was telling her all about it. And then Jo messaged me, and that's sort of how it come into my life. I got really excited about the products. I was a little bit, is this one of them things? Because I recently tried Sensi, and that didn't quite work out for me. But I thought, hey, it was a sign. I thought with Jo walking in and randomly just happened to be at the right time. And so I decided to follow up with it, and I have been on the products now for, what's it been, Jo? 3 weeks? And I'm loving them. I've noticed I'm not tired, and I'm feeling a lot better. My skin's cleared up. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot bubblier. Hayley's been on the products too. It was a bit tricky to get her to take them at the start, but she's loving them, and I've noticed little changes in her. which have been awesome. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And what was the next one? Where am I going to go with this?
Yeah. What are you hoping this is going to be for you?
I'm hoping it's going to free me up a little bit with my time, and I'm hoping to build it up a lot. And me and Lucas want to do a little bit of traveling and things like that. So yeah, it's sort of perfect opportunity for us at this stage, and it's going to give me a lot of flexibility with Hayley, which will be awesome, because at the moment with how things are, it's a little bit hard to get that flexibility.
Yeah. Awesome. It was so amazing that day that we met, and when you were telling me your story, you know, losing your job because, you know, you've got to take care of your little girl who's in and out of hospital, which in itself is a whole other kettle of fish and shouldn't have happened to start with. But, you know, the potential, you know, for the health benefits that could happen for you guys, and then also the business side of things, giving you both that time and financial freedom. You know, this is why we do what we do, so that, you know, we can share this with people just like you, and then now you're in turn going to get that to go and be able to share it. You just never know who you're going to be able to help. So thank you so much. I'm so excited for you at the start of this journey.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to share a little bit about now is obviously this all sounds wonderful, but how do we get paid? Like, how does it actually work? So I'll just turn this a bit. The way we work is so super simple, is we get paid for three things. We get paid to use the products, we get paid to talk about the products, and we get paid to recommend the products. So obviously, you never recommend something that you're not trying yourself. So by using the products, seeing how you feel, then you know if you're happy to recommend it to other people. Obviously, you know, you'd never recommend a movie that you hadn't seen or a restaurant that you hadn't been to. So that's what happens is, you know, when we're using the products, we then can't help but talk about them. You know, you've heard some stories tonight. If you had been able to get over having migraines and you meet somebody who's got migraines, of course you're going to talk to them about it. That's exactly what we do. And then while you're doing that, you're just recommending it. And these days, like we've mentioned, you know, so many people don't get their fruit and veg. We all know we need it. And it's just that simple. So the way that we actually get paid is we get paid in three different ways. So we get paid a retail profit. Every time we connect a customer with the company, we get paid a profit, the retail profit on those, on the products. We get paid a commission. So as we help others to build their own business up, the company says, thank you very much for helping somebody else grow their own business. We're going to give you a percentage of all of the sales. Now, all of that money comes from the company. It doesn't come from out of other people's pockets or anything like that. So Juice Plus does not pay for celebrity endorsements or TV ads or anything like that. So they have millions of dollars sitting there that they want to give to everyday people for helping spread the word about health. And then the third way we get paid is bonuses. Now, this is what we call our fun money, because there aren't too many jobs left these days where you get bonuses. And in this job, the bonuses are unlimited. So I just want to explain a little bit about how that works, because it's pretty exciting. So when you come into this business, you come in as a virtual franchisee. So that's what Kristy started as. The first bonus that you can go for is at DVF. Now, Kristy has actually done that. So within your first 10 days, if you can get a couple of other people to try the products, you get your $100 bonus. The next bonus that's available for you is at a position called SDVF. Now, this is within 40 days of starting the business. You can get a $400 bonus. And not only is the bonus for you, but it's also for the person who taught you. Because as Katrina explained before, we are a teaching business. So this isn't a business where you just join in and you're given a manual and said, here, go figure it out. We are a teaching business. You get coached absolutely every single step of the way. The next level that you can get to is called SC. And when you get there, within 5 months or quicker, entirely up to you, there's a $600 bonus for you and your teacher. The next bonus is at SSC, which is $1,200 for you and your teacher. The next one is QNMD, which is a $1,500 bonus for you and your teacher. Now, as I said, these bonuses are unlimited. You can help one person get this, or you can help 10 people get that. Any of those. It's really about how much and how many people you want to share this with. Then the final, or it's not the final bonus, but the pinnacle position in Australia is called NMD. And when you get there, that's a $3,000 bonus. Now, your teacher doesn't get the bonus when you get there because they're already going to be NMD. And when you're at NMD, you're looking at an average starting annual income of around about $100,000. So they really don't need the extra $3,000 because they're still also helping other people grow their own businesses. So hopefully that's just given you a little bit of a glimpse about what we do, why we do it, why we love it, and why we're so passionate about it. So we're super excited to welcome Kristy to the team. Hopefully some of this has resonated with you. So please have a chat. If you're here because Kristy invited you, have a chat with her, and I'll be there to help answer questions, and I'd love to have a chat with anybody who wants some more information. If what you've heard tonight, it sounds great, but it's not quite for you, please feel free to share this with somebody. If you've heard a story and you know that, this could possibly help somebody, get in touch with Kristy and let her know that, this could help somebody, because we really are a word of mouth business. So we really appreciate it when, people let other people know that there could possibly be something out there that helps them. So thank you guys all so much for jumping on here tonight. Really appreciated your time, and I hope you found it interesting. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.